Ashish Chaturmohta is with us as well. Good morning, Ashish. Three stocks. Give us three stock ideas that you're playing with right now.
Yeah, good morning. See, definitely markets are in a very strong range between 7950 on downside to 8350 on upside, and definitely within this range I think stocks and sectors which are more rural focused, more domestic play are looking very strong. We have been mentioning about Mahindra & Mahindra stock is looking very strong. Stock is trading near its 52-week high and continuously hovering around these levels. We have observed a very strong open interest rollovers in last two series, clearly indicating that longs are being rolled over for the next series as well. So we expect Mahindra & Mahindra to cross 1550 kind of levels in next 2 months. So we are recommending a long position in Mahindra & Mahindra. On downside can keep a stop below 1320 for an upside target of 1550. The other stock is Shriram Transport Finance. Again, the stock is continuously trading near its all-time high. In last 2 weeks we have seen a continuous higher bottom being formed in the stock that clearly indicate that stock is in a strong uptrend. So one can initiate a long position in the stock with a stop below 1120, and on upside can expect a target of 1260 1270 kind of levels. The other stock idea is IOC. Again, if you look at the overall oil marketing companies, we are witnessing a very strong movement. IOC has not performed till now, but I think now the stock can see a very strong upside towards 460 465 levels in next 1 to 2 weeks. So one can initiate a long position in IOC with a stop below 415 levels.
Let me just ask you specifically about Shriram Finance, Transport Finance that you were talking about. Could you just repeat those levels that you had mentioned just a short while back?
Yeah. So as far as Shriram Transport Finance, I think the stock has made its all-time high around 1240, 1245. We expect the stock to cross its previous all-time high and can target somewhere around 1260 kind of levels. One can initiate a long position at current levels, keeping a stop below 1120.
Okay. And the other two stocks, could you just repeat the range?
Yeah. So the Mahindra, one can initiate a long at current levels, keeping a stop below 1320, and on upside can expect a target of 1550 levels. And the other one is IOC, where one can initiate a long at current levels, keeping a stop below 415, and on upside can expect a target of 450 460 levels.
450, 460 levels. Choka, you give us usually give us some good investment calls, and one of your favorites, Barmer Lorry. Are you still hanging on to that? Is it something that you would still tell people to buy?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, in fact, we have a very large exposure to a lot of our clients. Even personally, I hold. In fact, every time when it slips below 600, we keep buying it. Because in the value investing, sometimes people like us look like a joker in the short to medium term. But I believe definitely in the medium to long term it would play out, because it has got a strong logistic infra business. The kind of logistic asset it holds, no other company in the country holds, and it's also trading at around 10-11 PE, and also it has increased the dividend to 20 rupees this year. It's a cum dividend. I believe one day this can be put out for a strategic sale. As I've been saying all along that it's a holding company, Balmalari Investment, has already given an undertaking to RBI to divest the stake in Balmalari company and wind up the holding company. So therefore, we continue to remain buyer of this stock.
Now, as a market, I've been hearing you talk about Balmalari for several years now. Have you been able to convince the rest of the market? Because it continues to be as cheap or as expensive, depending on the way you look at it, for the last, I would say, 2 years or so.
Yeah, actually it has not performed the way other logistic companies have performed. That's what I was saying, value investing, you always have the risk. This is X bonus. In the last 2.5 years, they have given a bonus, 3 for 4. So if you adjust, it's almost up around 1,000 rupees. And also if you include the dividend which they paid over 36 rupees per annum. So it's really done well in absolute manner, but it has underperformed other logistic company. But I am of the view that it would catch up with valuation to a large extent with the private player as well. Because for one more reason that in the last 2 years, the first time in the last 5 decades, company has announced a very aggressive capex in the logistic business. They are setting up cold storage warehouses, lot more. So therefore, I believe in the next 12 to 18 months itself, this stock should play out in a big way.
Two more value picks for our viewers, Choka.
Yeah, we covered already, but the Janus Power, tactically it can again go back to 60. It went to 62, and before that we closed the call, but again it has corrected to 46, and because of a slight dip in the performance in March quarter, but that is very common for this company, quarterly fluctuation. But on the contrary, the company has improved the balance sheet for March ending, and now the government initiating implementation of smart city projects. This company should benefit. So easily it can go back to 60 level. And another stock is J-Corp. Many times we made money in this counter. It goes to 90 and then it corrects. And it has got a lot of investments in land bank in Navi Mumbai through investment in SEZ. And the company also restructured. They merged a lot of indirect subsidiaries with the company itself. So all these give me a comfort and confidence, and also it's a zero debt company. It has got a lot of investments in Reliance industry apart from the real estate company. So therefore, I believe that it can once again give minimum around 95 to 100 in terms of fundamentals, but tactically it can even move beyond that.
Right, Choka, but if we talk about J-Corp, don't you think that essentially it's a play on the land or the land bank that they have more than anything else?
Yeah, certainly. You are absolutely right, but it also has got plastic processing industry. They restructured the steel business. Unviable unit they shut down, and book value also is around 110. So, but I am banking primarily on the land bank story. It played out in 2007. Of course, there was a bubble in the stock in 2007. It moved up as high as 1400 rupees from all the way from 1400 without any dilution of equity. It has come down to this level. But I would not give such aggressive target. But certainly, I am of the view that easily it can move to 100 rupees in a year or so.
Right, Ashish. Any view on Tata Communication? Of course, there has been a news flow regarding Tatacom that what they are on the fundamental side. They are looking to sell their South African arm, and they have got 2,900 crores, which they will use to reduce their debt. It's up 8%. Any view on Tatacom?
Yeah, so see, this stock is continuously trading in a range on upside. We see a lot of resistance coming around this 480 mark, but since today it has crossed this 480 mark with a very strong volume participation, I think yes, the next rally can take the stock towards 500, 520 kind of levels in next 2 to 3 weeks. So I think ideally now 460, which was a very, very strong resistance zone, will now act as a very strong support zone. So keeping that as a stop loss, one can continue holding the stock, and on upside can expect a target of 520 kind of levels.
Right, 520 kind. So would you still want to buy for 520 or just wait and watch?
So I'll wait for some dips, maybe around 468, 470 if the stock comes, then ideally the risk reward will be in favorable of the trader. So at that point of time, yes, one can initiate a long, keeping 460 as a stop loss.
Right. Any view on SBI? Again, it's a name which people don't like that much, but still has done phenomenally well from the lows, from the recent lows.
Which one?
SBI, State Bank of India.
Okay, yep. So overall PSU banks are looking quite strong. So if you look at in last 3-4 trading sessions, despite markets were in such a turmoil phase, we saw very strong rally coming in most of the PSU banking name, let it be SBI, PNB, Bank of India or Union Bank. And I think this trend will continue. Overall, we have seen a very good interest in the open interest as well, clearly indicating that a lot of long accumulation has happened. So we expect SBI to test minimum 230 kind of levels in next 3-4 trading sessions. Our bet is on Bank of India, where we have recommended a long position to our clients at around 94. We expect this stock to cross 112, 115 levels. So even at current levels, one can initiate a long, keeping a stop below 97 levels.
Right. Choka, do you track Aditya Birla Nuvo? It was up 6% yesterday. It's up 5% today as well.
Yeah, it's a good company, no doubt about it. It got beaten down. Certainly, the price is justified. It can even move another 5 to 10% from this level.
Right, but don't you think it's a very complicated company in terms of the structure that they have, the businesses that they have? So they need to simplify that for any investor to come and give it the real valuation?
Yeah, I mean it all depends upon the the market valuation. They do have retail businesses, but the retail businesses are not doing that great where they've invested. In fact, where they owned on their own, like Madura Coats, the old name. that is doing well, but other business which they have taken over are not doing well. So probably, they will have to wait for, right time to unlock money. Of course, in the stock market, we have seen, as you rightly mentioned, all these complicated businesses, they make a lot of money, at the appropriate time if they demerge and, list the companies. And that potential is there in the long term, but in the short term, it may not happen. As I said, the retail business is not doing that great.
GMR Infra is up about 1% today, and volumes on NSE are pretty strong. About 1.38 million or about 14 odd lakh shares have been traded. The stock, as you know, is beaten down about 13 rupees or so, 12 rupees 60 paise. But Ashish, of course, there's a news element here that GMR Infra is going to be leasing land to Amazon. But Ashish, is there some case to use this as a trading bet, maybe get up to 1340, 1350 on this?
If you look at last 5-6 months data, clearly 1350 is the area where the stock faces a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
Maybe in this momentum we can see this 1320, 1350 kind of levels. But clearly as a trading bet, I would like to avoid this kind of strategy, because it's more of a range bound trading strategy. And in this environment where and obviously since on upside it is just 40-50 paisa away from the current levels, the risk reward is not very favorable. But as a trader, if someone is holding, yes, 1320, 1350 could be the possible target in next 2-3 trading sessions in GMR Infra.
All right, GMR Infra, interesting call there. Can be used, traded if you hold it. Anything else that you would look at? We were looking at Ashok Leyland today, trading on strong volumes, up about 1%. If you could just pull out the chart. Chokha doesn't like it on fundamentals. He'd rather get into, as he was saying, MRF there. Trading right now at about 98.80 Ashok Leyland, 1.5% up. We don't still have the news trigger there, but the volumes have been pretty strong here, almost 50% more than the 10-day average that we've seen. Ashish, if we have this chart out, if you could just tell us what you think about that. Is there any trading possibility here?
No, again I will avoid it, because it is near the resistance zone. 100 is acted as a very strong resistance zone for last 3-4 trading sessions. So I think around 100 levels again the stock might face some kind of selling pressure. In fact, what we like at this point of time is the cement space, where we are seeing a very good open interest addition. We have seen a very strong movement in most of the mid cap cement names like Ramco and Prism. But now I think even UltraTech cement is one stock which is looking very strong, and ACC is one stock which is looking very strong. So ACC, UltraTech both put together, if you see, then I think an upside of 5-7% from current levels cannot be ruled out. So I think if one has a trading bet, then ACC and UltraTech cement for a positional view of 5-7% can be looked for long positions.
Okay, Ashish, I'm going to just ask you a little bit about some of the sugar stocks. They've really run up. If one looks at Balrampur Chini or Dhampur and any of these, they've run up quite a bit. And even if I take a look at its 5-year chart, it's almost at its peak. It did hit its peak recently, but it's almost at its peak. So is there a call to take a position on this and just see if it goes up further, or you think that it has done whatever it could do? Ashish, you first.
Yeah, so looking into the price and volume pattern, it looks like that the trend is going to continue on upside, because the stock gave a very strong rally in last 5-7 trading sessions. We saw some kind of profit booking, and the stock retraced to a certain extent. And now again we are seeing this action coming back, which clearly indicates that the stocks can see further upside from current levels. What we like within this space is KCP sugar, which looks very strong, where we expect a target of 48-50 kind of levels. So maybe around 37-36 one can keep a stop and continue holding to KCP sugar. Apart from that, Dhampur sugar is looking very strong, where I think an upside till 140-145 levels can be seen. So one can initiate a long position even in Dhampur with a stop below 112 levels.
And Balrampur, do you see it hitting 135 at all?
Yeah, so overall trend is quite positive in the entire sugar space. So definitely Balrampur Chini also looks good for even 145-150 kind of levels. Yeah. So overall the entire space looks good. But what we like within this space is Dhampur and KCP sugar.
Dhampur and KCP. Chokha sugar prices have finally firmed up after 7-8 years. Do you see it continuing for some time?
Sugar price would continue, but the sugar stock prices would not continue to rise. Market is ahead. The investors should remember one fact that in the last 25 years, sugar sector remained as the solid wealth creating sector for the smart investors, and for gullible investors, it remained as the most wealth destroying sector. As you rightly said, after 8 years. But if you look back 8 years, most sugar stocks fell even 70-80%. So I would suggest hold on some select names like KCP Sugar, KCP Limited, and I have no regional bias, but I would start selling UP based companies because the cane prices are quite aggressive there, and they run up beyond the fair value.
Elections are also coming, so there would be a issue there, right?
Yeah, so in fact we do have KCP Sugar buy rating, continue to have. We believe that it can easily cross 45, but otherwise I would advise caution on the sugar space.
All right, caution on the sugar space from Chokalingam, but Ashish says that some of these are looking good as trading bets. All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Ashish Chaturmohta and Chokalingam. Thanks a lot.